You are looking live at Con Pro Field, side of tonight's SFL matchup between the Canton Classics and the Queen City Corsairs. This is the Simulation Football League live on YouTube. Good evening. I'm Cameron Duty with my partner, Rochelle Colston. Rochelle, it's good to be with you again, my friend. Listen, Canton comes into tonight's game looking for their 8th straight victory. But standing in their way is a Queen City team that's looking to make a late season rally of their own. What are your thoughts on tonight's matchup?
Queen City is coming in tonight off of 2 losses. With a 3-4 record, this game is a must-win for QCC if they wish to keep their playoff hopes alive. However, a daunting task lay ahead of them tonight. The Canton Classics come into tonight's game, leading the league in several offensive and defensive categories, and are in the top 10 in almost every category. If QCC wants to win tonight, they will have to find an answer to the 3-headed monster in the Canton backfield and make score passers actually throw the ball.
It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. We are glad and just grateful that you're here with us tonight watching on YouTube. Hello to everyone out there watching. This is going to be a fun game. Some matchup notes real quick. Canton leads the series 4-1, but Queen City won their first game in this series just last season by a score of 23-10. Folks, get ready, get set, don't move. You're not going to want to go anywhere for about the next hour and a half or so. Kickoff is underway. And that one is booted out of the back of the end zone. So let's take a look at the starting lineup for Queen City. Their quarterback, Eric Price. The halfbacks, William McDowell, Jet Zero, Tony Zoma, also in at fullback. The wide receivers, Adrian Ellis, Xavier Knight, Joseph Baudet, and Bob Wood. The tight ends, Arnold Pacaw, James Matthew Jr., and Abad Ruiz II, and guard, Robert Cron. On first down from the 20-yard line, they got 2 receivers spread out, 2 men in the backfield, and they hand it off to Jet Zero. 2nd and 4.
Nice play on first down. For the first drive, you can pick up 6 yards on first. That's a bad way to start.
Right, that's a point that we will make that's going to be very crucial for Queen City to have a good chance in today's game. Positive yardage early and often to keep a good rhythm. On 2nd down, they keep it on the ground once more. William McDowell for a first down. Let's mention the Canton defense. Defensive ends Mike All and Jabril Curse. Defensive tackles LL Volt, Neil Rivers. The linebackers Mark Gronick, DJ Kilganon, Kevin Brackett, Dimitri Monzuma, Evan Lacey, and Frank Bernstein at cornerback, Joshua Durr and Dedrick Law at cornerback as well, and the safeties Kanye Rockefeller and King Jamal. 1st and 10 after 2 runs on the ground. And they keep it on the ground once more, 2-0, and take a look at the chunks of yards that he is putting up early in this game, Rochelle.
Yeah, Jet is just basically having his way. That's the 3rd carry for over 5 yards.
Queen City wanting to improve on the fact that over the last 2 losses they have had, they've only been able to score 27 points between those 2 games. They have allowed, however, 68 points in those 2 losses. McDowell again with the carry, another first down, and what's one way to slow down a high-powered offense such as Canton? Keep them off the field. This is a really nice drive to begin the game.
Yeah, if I was QCC and this running game starts working for me, I'd keep doing this all night long. The longer you keep the Canton offense off the field, the better off you are, for sure.
Now, once again, still on the ground to Jet Zero, and another gain of 3. And let's take a look real quick at some stats coming into today's game. You take a look at Eric Price, who has had a decent season. He's number 1 in completion and attempts. Unfortunately, he has 11 interceptions to 7 touchdowns, so he definitely wants to work on that. That is when we see them throw to the air for the first time today. We've yet to see that. Right now we have a man in motion. That's Ruiz, the tight end. They keep it on the ground once more. Wow. William McDowell running left side. He's got all kinds of room before being brought down by King Jamal. First down again for Queen City.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at both teams, QCC definitely passes more, but we haven't seen that tonight yet.
Some of the rushing stats coming into today's game. The leader in rushing touchdowns, well, it's a tie for Queen City with Jet Zero and fullback Tony Zama, both with 3. on the year. William McDowell has 1 touchdown. The bulk of the carries you'll see coming from Jet Zero, who coming into today's game had 339 rushing yards. This is a pitch once again to Jet Zero.
Wow.
More running room. How impressive is this here? Really beginning to open up this offensive arsenal, and it's causing Canton to kind of be spread thin for just a moment.
Now, if QCC can come out here and get a touchdown on their first drive, that would be very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. Still on the ground to McDowell, running left side spin move, and they're going to say he's close to the markers. They're going to mark him just short. 3rd and 2 now coming up.
I want to see a replay of that. I thought it was a little bit closer than that.
Would have been interesting to see what would have happened had he not went into the spin move there and forged ahead, but certainly understand trying to dodge the defender. 3rd and 2, first big 3rd down of the game coming up. And that's Zero, and he is going to get 0. Well, they're going to say forward progress is going to give him a yard, but he's still going to be short. 4th and 1, and that time a really nice job of defense by Canton to come up with the stop.
Yeah, I think QCC is going to settle for the field goal here and actually put points on the board. I mean, very impressive first drive by QCC.
Indeed, a 46-yard attempt coming up by Joe Garfield. The kick is up. It started out a little bit left. It comes back to the center. Queen City strikes first after a 10-play, 50-yard drive that didn't even see an attempt through the air.
That's amazing.
I mean, very effective, and for a moment you could tell that it certainly got Canton on their toes. Now, the Canton offense about to come out here with just about 4 minutes of clock already gone away in this first quarter. Again, folks, we thank you for being with us. Let's see what Canton has to offer. This one will be returned. A shorter kick out to the 31-yard line. Let's say hello to the Canton Classics offense. We'll talk a lot about them tonight. Scar Patterson, quarterback. Halfbacks Robert Johnson, Logan Lee, and fullback Bill Cherry. The wide receivers Ryan Owens, Andrew Gibson, Al Dillapre Sr., and Bob Lung. The tight end is Jack Wall. The tackles, Jock Lee Pancake, Max Van Linga, Adam Chance, and Girth Lord at guard, and at center, Kiara Kilganon. 1st and 10 now for the Classics. They also keep it on the ground with Robert Johnson.
Well, I'm not surprised that Canton's keeping it on the ground here tonight. That's our bread and butter.
Absolutely. That is something that they, as you said, bread and butter, a 3-headed monster in the backfield. And we know what they can do. We take a look at stats, which is always fun. You see just how efficient they have all been, making it to the end zone a total of 16 times this season. But Patterson to throw. It's tipped, almost intercepted, and that was dangerous if you are a Queen City fan. It was GB Wallace all over that one.
Like I said earlier, QCC needs to put pressure on Patterson, make him throw the ball, make him make mistakes. He doesn't throw the ball a whole lot. I mean, he threw the ball 100 times less than Eric Price this season so far.
Yeah, 3rd down and 7 coming up now. So Queen City's defense coming out, doing a nice job. Can they get Canton off the field? Patterson to roll out. He looks deep, and he finds his man. That is Al Dillapre Sr. for the 1st down.
Nice route and play there. Quick pass. 1st down. Move the chains.
As we have a moment, let's take a look at this Queen City defense. Defensive ends, Dutirian Darshington, Chad Stinson. The tackles, Emmanuel Petrila. Linebackers, Casper Haddock, Kappa Jones, Luke Swift, Morgan Brown, Wolf Highwind. The cornerbacks, Brandon Ewing, Justin Reside, Ted Haynes, and Anthony Wayo. And the safeties, Alex Marshall and GB Wallace. On a new set of downs here, 1st and 10 for Canton. Again, on the ground, Johnson with about an 8-yard gain on 1st down.
Yep, and you'll see Johnson and you'll see Logan Lee. It's mostly just ground and pound. That's what Canton likes to do.
Logan Lee, 640 yards coming into today's game, 2nd in the league. 10 touchdowns. That tops the SFL in halfbacks. Oh, and Patterson, a little quick sneak there, and he does what he needs to do. He picks up the first and back to the huddle.
Now we got the quarterback rushing. Come on.
This is a team that loves the ground and pound attack. There are no doubt, and you're going to get a clinic in that tonight for sure if they have their way. 1st and 10, 4:19 remaining and counting in a fast-moving first quarter. Obviously, you expect that with the ground game as prominent as it is. Again, another carry. That'll go for about 3, and again, that's Johnson on the carry.
Yeah, Rojo's been in the league. He's a veteran. He's known as a power back. He's very, very strong. Likes to run uphill.
116 carries before today's game and 3 touchdowns for Robert Johnson. And look at this again, a little bit of, as we said, a variation. Now you get to see Logan Lee and just how explosive he is coming out of the backfield for a first down.
Yes, QCC's got to find a way to stop these backs. If not, they're going to see these backs all night long, over and over again.
1st and 10, Canton now on the move, doing a very nice job. And listen, we'll talk about the stats, the offensive stats, just how good they are. First in so many categories. First in points per game, first in rushing yards, and first in rushing touchdowns. Patterson, though, will go to the air this time. That pass is contested, and I believe that was Wallace once again. Yep, GB Wallace on the coverage.
Great job at the secondary. They're giving Patterson fits back there.
For the moment, Wallace looks to have Patterson's number on that right side of the field. So 2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 3:20 in this first quarter. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Patterson delayed handoff. And look at that. Johnson, I believe it was, just about broke free there. Instead, he gets a good handful of yards. Not as many as he could have, though. And that brings up 3rd down.
That time they did a pretty good job of containing him. Forcing a 3rd and 4 here. I wouldn't be surprised if he can't run again.
Their 2nd 3rd down attempt of this drive. The first went for the big pass completion to Dillapre. Patterson to throw. That pass off the mark, and that was intended for Ryan Owens, and Queen City doing a nice job enforcing the 4th down now for Canton.
Yeah, and this is a win for QCC. You make Canton settle for a field goal.
Rob Ems will come on to attempt a 37-yard field goal attempt.
Oh, good old money, Ems.
The snap and the hold is good. The kick is no good. Wide right.
What?
Just a little to the right, as you can see it flutter there over the goalpost, just on the wrong side of things, to put it that way. Take a look at this replay.
Wonder what the wind's doing here tonight.
Yeah. Take a look at this angle right there. You can see a very clear angle of it just drifting too far to the right. And Queen City withstands a good offensive production by Canton. They come away scoreless, and Queen City now gets the ball back. All right, handoff now. And not much there. 2nd and 9 coming up.
I think Canton went back and made some defensive adjustments there.
Certainly looks that way. The open lanes were not available at that point in time for Queen City as they were on the first drive. We'll see what happens here on 2nd down. Price to throw, and he's going deep, and he just kind of overthrows his man. Thankfully, there were nobody there in harm's way. James Matthew Jr., the intended target, and you will see them go to James quite a bit.
Yeah, if you're gonna go long, it's better to overthrow than to underthrow and have an interception there. So, lesser of 2 evils.
On 3rd and 9. Man in motion for Queen City. That is Joseph Baudet. 3 wide receivers now to the bottom of your screen. Price rolling out, and he steps up and delivers a strike and a completion to Adrian Ellis for the first down.
What a perfect throw and a great little route. The defender was right there with the perfect throw. Allow the receiver to catch it.
And great awareness by Eric Price. Take a look at the route here by Adrian Ellis. In between two defenders,
Yes.
completely flanked. How about that? You had Lacey right there who could have easily turned around and picked that, but, a good job of communication between quarterback and wide receiver, and they're moving the ball again past midfield to the 40-yard line of Canton. Keeping it on the ground, and that's a nice run by McDowell. Again, Rochelle, we go back to the positive yardage and how they need to continue to just grind and ground and pound away here.
I agree, and the longer they run this clock, the better off they are. And you can keep moving the chains and converting first downs.
It's important to note that Queen City is 5th in total yards per game and 6th in rushing touchdowns per game. So a lot of their bread and butter right there comes from that. Take a look at Price rolling out again, doing a nice job surveying the field. That pass, oh my goodness, it looked to be complete until the defense shows up, and that's Evan Lacey again.
Yeah, Arnold Parker had that in his chest, and Lacey just hit him really hard not to fall loose.
So far, for both teams, this has been a game that's been played between each other's 30-yard line, if you will, with both drives stalling out just around this point for field goal attempts. We'll see if Queen City can advance. 3rd and 7 coming up. All the receivers but one down to the bottom of your screen. Price looks, he turns, he throws. Nice. That pass is complete. Guess who once again? Adrian Ellis.
That was just the patience of the quarterback, waiting for his receiver to get open, and he found him right in the middle of the field. Nice route.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at that route and developing a really nice repertoire there of good routes on 3rd down between the two. King Jamal in on that stop. 1st and 10, we're less than a minute remaining in this first quarter, and Queen City is in the red zone. They show pressure. They run left side with McDowell, and he gets a gain of 4.
At this point, they're just keeping the defense honest. You got to run the ball every now and then. Keep everybody on their toes.
Absolutely. Queen City, another stat, they have some good stats in their favor. We know that they're 3-4. They've had a tough schedule. They're number 1 in receiving yards, 2,001 coming into today's game, and 151 receptions, so they can spread the ball around. Price is very capable to do that. And the ground game, for the most part, has been doing well. Nothing there, unfortunately, for Jet Zero, and that brings up 3rd and 6.
Bracket with a big stop there. Probably fortunate right here from Price.
It'll be interesting to see if they do decide to get a playoff. They're just going to let this run out and call it a very successful opening quarter of this game. So far, folks, 1 quarter down, and Queen City with the lead by 3, and they are driving once more on the undefeated Canton Classics. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. And we want to remind you that aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags Drone Works. Aerial photography and videography services for real estate, event, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Take a look at that beautiful view of the Queen City here. A wonderful day here on a Saturday evening. A great football game. As we said in the Queen City, what more could you ask for? Big 3rd and 6 coming up here now for the Corsairs. Price to throw. He goes to the end zone, and it is intercepted.
No.
And that's King Jamal. Takes the knee down in the end zone for the touchback, and what a disheartening way to end a very promising drive.
At that time, Price tried to force it in. They had 2 defenders in front of the receiver, and he just went up and climbed the ladder and got that one.
We made mention prior to the kickoff that Eric Price was having some struggles in the interception department with now 12 on the season to just 7 touchdowns. A really good drive there. Unfortunately, goes up in smoke for Queen City, and now Canton has a shot from their 20-yard line. Canton just letting that play clock run down. And Patterson rolling out, pressure in his face, but he delivers a strike. What a beautiful over-the-shoulder throw and a reception by Jack Wall.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a beautiful route, and Patterson just took his time, waited for, Jack to make his move, and got behind the defender and made the perfect throw.
That was a beauty for sure, and a great job of the ever reliable Jack Wall being able to reel that one in. Wall comes into this game with 415 yards reception already, about 13.8 average. 2nd and 8. So when they go to Jack Wall, which you'll see them do often, it's usually for a pretty good chunk of yardage, and we've seen it right there, Rochelle.
Yeah, Mike Dax will be happy they threw it to the tight end.
That's exactly right. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. That's an SFL staple, no doubt. 2nd and 8 coming up now for Canton, and this Queen City defense trying to keep the top-ranked offense at bay. Gar Patterson drops that one off underneath to Ryan Owens for a couple of yards. 3rd and 5 on the way.
And great coverage by the secondary to force Patterson to make a little dump-off pass. Now they're 3rd and 5 here.
Yeah, a crucial 3rd and 5. The way that Queen City has been able to stop Canton has been impressive. Canton, though, looking to maybe let loose a little bit here with one man in the backfield, 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Oh, we've got motion as well. That looks like the tight end coming over. That's Jack Wall. Will he go back to Jack Wall? 3rd and 5. Delayed handoff, and it almost, they're going to say, he got just enough. He fell forward. Robert Johnson, he looked to be stopped momentarily behind the line, but then he does fall forward for another 1st down.
I think everybody was thinking pass, 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 and then whoops, here he comes up the middle.
That was clever, wasn't it? I mean, just as a football fan in general, you love seeing plays like that. Everybody thinking to go to the air, and instead they get the delayed handoff, and a 1st down for the Classics now just outside the 40-yard line. Again, we see Wall in motion, moving from left to right. Very familiar of the last play that we see. This time, Patterson to throw underneath, complete to Jack Wall.
And Canton definitely is throwing the ball more than they usually do.
So on 2nd and 4, we'll see if they continue that trend of going to the air, if they decide to go back to the bread and butter of the ground game, which has made them so notorious. Fake handoff. Patterson to throw, looking deep. He's got his man wide open. Bob Lung. And how about Bob Lung turning to position himself to make that reception?
Yeah, and you just can't leave somebody that open on the sideline there. I mean, they had 3 defenders in the area. He just put himself in the middle of them.
Just enough separation on either side of the defender to come down with a really nice reception. And we've seen some really good ones out of these Canton players already in this game. We've already mentioned, Jack Wall earlier. And 1st and 10 now for Canton. Inside the 20-yard line into the red zone territory here. They go back to the ground. Robert Johnson, shoulders forward, gain of 4.
It's going to be hard to guess when Canton goes to the air or the ground because they do it when you don't expect it at all.
That's what exactly. Good point. That's what makes them so difficult to contain when you're so effective as they've been in this season at doing such. It's hard to stop. 2nd and 6 coming up, and it looks to be run once more. It is straight up the middle, and bulldozing forward is Bill Cherry. He wanted that touchdown bad, and he came just a few yards short of getting it.
Yeah, so we've been seeing Johnson and Lee, and all of a sudden now we see the big, powerful Cherry come through the middle, just bruising people.
Oh, that's going to hurt. Somebody needs to go check on Alex Marshall, please.
That's a big man coming down the line.
Oh, yeah. Just imagine the brute force in that. 1st and goal now for Canton. Back to their classic ways. Pun totally intended. Man in motion. And Patterson keeps it, stays on his feet before being brought down. A nice job of the defense not falling for that one. Not falling for it at all. And it is a 2nd down coming up.
And nice stop there. I think we're going to see 3 more pounds for the end zone here. Heavy set again.
Yeah. 2nd and goal. Man in motion.
Oh, yeah, Wall is the receiver now.
Down to the bottom of your screen. They keep it on the ground to Bill Cherry, and Cherry pulling people along with him. He's going to be short. 3rd and goal coming up. I believe that was Wolf Highwind on the stop.
This is a huge 3rd down here for QCC. Let's see if they can get the goal line stop and force Canton to take another field goal. Or attempt to take another field goal, I should say.
3rd down, the Queen City crowd. You can hear them in the background trying to rally on the defense.
Oh,
and up
no.
and over the defense is Canton. Touchdown. A great job that time. A great running play. And how about that? They expected them to go forward, but Jim Finn instead goes over.
Yeah, definitely. Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? And in all sorts of forms there. So Canton going into their lineup, deep into the lineup for Jim Finn, and he goes over top, as we said, the entire Corsair defense, and Canton takes the lead. Rob Ems now for the extra point. And the kick is good. So Canton takes a 4-point lead. We got about 5 minutes left, and as we said, a fast-moving game. 5 minutes left in this 2nd quarter.
And a low-scoring game at that.
That's exactly right. We'll see if Queen City can kind of turn things loose and get to the end zone on their own on this next drive. That kick will be returned. Bob Wood shakes a tackle, gets out to the 28-yard line where they'll set up shop. Folks, do you love NFL history? Canton Classics head coach Ray Donaldson was the first African-American to play center in the league, achieving 6 Pro Bowl selections, making the All-Pro team, and winning Super Bowl 30 with the Dallas Cowboys. Game-worn items from his time with the Indianapolis Colts, Seattle Seahawks, and Dallas Cowboys are now available at millions.com/Ray Donaldson. Own a piece of NFL history today. 1st and 10 now. We take a look at some team stats so far in this game, and Queen City doing a pretty good job staying right there with Canton up to this point. The handoff to Jet Zero goes nowhere. They'll give him 2.
Yeah, I think Canton's figured out how to clog those holes for 0 here. He hasn't made as many yards as he was on that first drive.
You know, there's so many stats to look at in this game. You know, doing research as we do, Rochelle, it's always fun to have a lot of material to pull from, great topics to talk about. But how about this? If Canton wins today, it's their longest winning streak, 8 wins. And, oh, look at the defense doing their part to provide in that. A big-time sack by Kevin Brackett.
Kevin Brackett's he's a vet, been in the league for many years, played for many teams. Really good linebacker out there.
And let's go back to what we were speaking of there. If Canton can win, they will have their first 8-game winning season, and how impressive that would be. And the defense doing a good job, as we said, in aiding that at the moment. A big 3rd and 14 coming up for Queen City. Price rolling out. He's going to have to take off and run. Does he have enough? No, had to slide forward. 4th and 6. They'll have to punt it away.
Yep, and I feel the momentum shifting here. It's a little bit.
Yeah, you certainly start to, Rochelle, when Canton has been able to get Queen City off the field as they have the last couple of drives. 4th and 6 now, and we will say hello to the punter, Ian Degan. Nice hang time on this one. Fair catch at the 27-yard line. So Canton now, you start to mention the momentum starting to change, Rochelle. If you're Queen City, where do you kind of mentally check yourself here and stop them from going forward?
Your defense has got to come up with a big play, an interception, a stop, anything at this point. You have to keep scoring along with them, or they're going to take the game away from you.
Talk about that 3-headed tandem in the backfield. Robert Johnson, Bill Cherry, Logan Lee. Will we see them right now, or will Patterson go to the air?
I think we'll see the ground game. Oh, no.
Oh, a handoff, and Patterson to throw. Going deep and was going for it all. Alex Marshall, who got obliterated, honestly, in the previous drive, does a nice job of making the deflection.
I guess somebody checked on me. He's okay.
That's going to make you feel better. Anytime you get up from a hit like that and you can come away with a stop, that makes the soul feel pretty good, even if the body doesn't. 2nd and 10 on the way. And look at this. Nobody in the backfield.
Wow.
Canton feeling aggressive tonight. Pressure is coming. Patterson unloads, and he does get that one away just in time. Ryan Owens makes the reception.
I think he definitely felt the pressure that time. He just had to dump it off. Nice pick up of 5 yards, though.
Yeah, nice job of turning what looked like it could very well be a sack into a 5-yard gain. 3rd down coming up. One man in the backfield, offset. Jack Wall in motion, and he's dangerous when he goes in motion on these 3rd down plays. We've seen it time and time again.
Seems to be in motion a lot tonight.
Delayed handoff up the middle to
Wow.
Robert Johnson. And that's a thing of beauty. 1st down.
Most teams at 3rd and 3 and 5 are going to pass the ball. Canton, you never know what you're going to get.
It's like a box of chocolates.
Exactly.
Gotta love Forrest Gump. 1st and 10. Again, nobody in the backfield, Rochelle. And they just kind of dump it off in a gain of 4. Jack Waller at the reception. A surprise look from Canton, I might say.
Yep. I mean, we used to see him maybe 2, maybe sometimes, both backs in the backfield. There we go. That's a Canton look.
That is the classic Canton look, Rochelle. 1st and 10, handoff left side, and he goes for a couple before Bill Cherry is brought down. 3rd and 4 coming up. You see what I did there? A classic look for Canton.
Yes.
How would you rate that on a score of 1 to 10?
I'll give you a 7.
Oh, okay, I'll take it. 2 minutes coming up here in this 1st half. We hope you're having just as much fun as we are. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Cameron Duty here with Rochelle Colston. That's tonight, Justin Reside and Dakota Butts, and of course Cameron Irvine in the production truck. And we thank them for all of their hard work, and we thank you all for watching. If you're liking the game so far, don't forget to smash that like button. Okay. Patterson to roll out, pressure coming, he goes deep.
Oh.
Almost intercepted. It falls to the ground harmlessly, but it does bring up 4th down. GB Wallace that time with the deflection.
Huge stop by QCC here. I mean, unbelievable defense.
This team, honestly, playing above what their statistics may show. A great job of coming out in this game and playing tough. Charles Brown now on to punt for Canton. He's going to try to corner them deep in their own territory. He gets that one down to the 20. It will be returnable, but it doesn't go far. They're spotted at the 22-yard line. 1:46 now. If you're Queen City, Rochelle, you had the good drive that ended in the interception. How aggressive do you want to be right here if you're Eric Price?
I think if you're QCC, you have to take chances here. You have to score. The bottom line is against Canton, you have to score. You have to keep up with them. Your defense is playing tough right now.
It almost felt as we seen them get a little bit reserved after that interception. The next couple of drives there just kind of went nowhere. This handoff to Jet Zero, and again, only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, I mean, Jet Zero looked like on fire the first drive of the game, but so far, Canton's found the answer for him.
Kanye Rockefeller, the leader, one of the leaders of interceptions, I should say, for Canton. Frank Bernstein actually has 5 interceptions. Kanye Rockefeller, King Jamal, and Evan Lacey all have 3, so very interesting. When you go to the air, it's dangerous. So maybe why they're wanting to keep it on the ground here. McDowell does get forward, 3rd and 5.
I mean, they have a minute on the clock. They got 3 timeouts. They don't look like they're in any hurry to do anything, really.
No, not at the moment. We'll see what they come out with on 3rd down. They've certainly made it much more manageable here. 2 men in the backfield. Pressure is coming. He unloads, and it is no. Oh, man, I thought he had it intended for Joseph Baudet. And that is 4th down, and that's going to leave Canton with roughly a little less than a minute on the clock.
I just can't believe how low scoring this game is so far.
A great defensive struggle thus far. We'll see which one of these teams can kind of turn it loose in the 2nd half. Degan back on to kick. And again, pretty good kick right there. And, a little bit of confusion, almost allowing number 12, Andrew Gibson, a chance to return that one back. But Canton will take up shop at the 35-yard line.
I thought for sure he was thinking, "Oh, fair catch, fair." The defender was right in front of his face.
I did too, and you could tell maybe he kind of faked him out a little bit there because you could see that he was trying to go up and around the defender. 1st and 10 now coming up. Look at this. Again, nobody in the backfield. They're determined to go to the air. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 2 up top. Patterson to throw. Complete, but right on the spot again was Justin Rasad. A 6-yard gain, reception by Gibson.
And Canton's in no hurry here either. I think both teams are content to leave it as it is.
How many of you thought that we were going to have a total of 10 points on the board between the 2 teams going into halftime? Take a look at your over-under, folks. Not many.
No, and I mean, QCC came in here as a 21.5 underdog.
So far doing a good job of staying with the Classics, and you can see they got the first down there, then they call the timeout. So they're not done cooking just yet. It looked like they may be wanting to ride this one out into the half, but instead, looks like they may be going pass with 1 man in the backfield.
Great clock management.
Patterson to throw. It's intercepted.
Oh, no.
And it's going back the other way before being brought down. A great job again of defense, Anthony Wayo.
I mean, QCC's defense showed up tonight.
Look at the concentration. There's the tip, but he never lets his concentration go off the football. He brings that one in. Another interception on the career for Anthony Wayo, and it's 1st and 10 Queen City with 13 seconds left. Even if they don't try to take a shot downfield, they stopped what looked again to be an opportunity for Canton to get some points on the board before the end of the half.
And definitely, like I said at the beginning of the game, QCC had forced Scar to throw the ball.
How about that? And they will just keep it on the ground. 0 gets 1, and that's just going to let them run the clock out. So the defense stopping the bleeding there. The Queen City offense hasn't been able to move the ball as effectively as they did at first. And we go into the half with a 7-3 ball game. Canton in the lead by 4. But folks, we've got 2 more quarters of football to play, and we can't wait to see what happens. Rochelle, give us your thoughts on an exciting first half.
I have one word for you. It's defense. This has been crazy.
Yeah. It really has. And you take a look. We'll take a look at some of the snapshots, of course. But look at Scar Patterson. Again, being kept at bay. That's very important as well. And now an interception to go with that.
And I'm not sure if maybe Canton changed their game plan to pass the ball more today. But they don't look like themselves out there right now.
Not at the moment, unless we see something drastically different in the 3rd quarter. And let's brag on this Queen City team, who, as you said, a 21.5-point underdog coming in here.
And they're just hanging in here with Canton at the moment.
You know, a lot can be said for the underdog. That's when you get, you got that fight in you to try to come up and make a big play and have a big game. And you know, Queen City, they got a lot to fight for. They're 3-4 heading into today's game, and they've still got stuff that they can play for. They can get on a run here, and their season is not lost at all. So this is very crucial for them. Folks, we welcome you back to the start of the second half. Again, my name is Cameron Duty, Rochelle Colston with me. On stats, Justin Rasad and Dakota Butts and Cameron Irvin in the production booth. So we've had a fun game thus far. Kickoff underway to start the second half. Canton will get the ball. They will be coming off of an interception by Scar Patterson. Here's the return, brought out to the 25 to the 26-yard line.
I mean, they're doing well in special teams. Both teams are playing well all over the place tonight. Especially on defense.
Yeah, defense, the name of the game. 9 first downs gained by Canton, just 5 by Queen City. But again, it's the defense that's been able to come up, get big time 3rd downs, being able to get both of the teams off the field. A couple turnovers in this one. Both of them have each had an interception. Very close game thus far.
Definitely.
On 1st and 10, They keep it
Nice.
on the ground. That's a little more traditional on first down for Canton. And a good job by Swift coming in. Luke Swift on the tackle.
And definitely in the second half, again, the crucial thing for QCC is to keep these backs contained.
Luke Swift is someone that they're very glad to have had come over. His first season here with Queen City, previously with Las Vegas. Him and Justin Raside and Anthony Wayo, all from Las Vegas. And let's not forget Eric Price as well, all coming over from the Fury. 2nd and 10 on the way here for Patterson. And going back to the air, plenty of time to throw. Does he have his man? Oh, he does.
No.
He's got his man. He is down to the 20-yard line. Al Dillapre Sr. once again.
And that time the receiver got behind cornerback Ted Haynes and Alex Marshall in the perfect throw.
That is just how dangerous Canton can be. Take a look at this missile. And, oh, my goodness, look how close. As you mentioned, look how close Ted Haynes was there to picking that one off.
I don't think Ted Haynes ever really looked for the ball at that point.
Kind of interesting because it looked as if it could have been contested had it been things have been changed a little bit, but Dillapre with a great job of catching that one and taking off. 1st and 10 to Johnson. He stays on the ground. He powers behind one of his big linemen, and they give him 3.
Canton's looking a little bit different, going for these big yardage chunk plays, which really catches me off guard too.
It's so interesting, 8 games in, and you're starting to see a different complexion to Canton, which is important if you want to be able to maintain the way that the season is going thus far, and you want to have a deep run into the playoffs. You got to be able to do a little bit of it all, not just be one-dimensional. Patterson to throw to the end zone. Oh, and dropped. Of course, really good coverage that time by Justin Raside. 3rd and 7 on the way.
Great play by the defense for sure. Yep, look, he got hit.
At that.
As soon as his hands touched the ball, he was hit.
Bob Lung really thought for a minute he had another touchdown to his stats column, but Raside coming in with, as you said, just as soon as the ball hit his hands, it was back out again. 3rd and 7, and boy, how big would this be if Queen City can get Canton off the field? We'll see. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen for Scar Patterson. He throws the pass. Intercepted! No. Intercepted, and going the other way for just a moment was Brandon Ewing.
Wow, that's 2 interceptions on 2 drives in a row from Canton.
This Queen City defense will not be denied. Again, they let them get into the red zone, but it's a bend but don't break mentality, Rochelle.
And remember, Scar Patterson only came in this game with 8 interceptions all season.
Make that 10.
Yes.
My goodness. So, Queen City and quarterback Eric Price with a great opportunity for this offense to really wake up. They've got a little bit lackadaisical the last couple of series before the half. We'll see how they come out here in this 3rd quarter.
You have to be careful here where you're out on the field, though.
Oh, you're right, Price. Oh, he's going to run.
Oh, my goodness, he had room.
He threaded the needle there between the offensive linemen. He took off in a great run. 1st down now. Wow.
Now you're a little bit more comfortable where you're out in the field. You're not near your own end zone. The playbook opens up a little bit more here.
Yeah, but boy, it was nifty, wasn't it? Running between the tackles and like that. I mean, that was a thing of beauty for Eric Price.
And he just kind of like took off. Shot out of that backfield.
1st and 10, as we said, after the QB scramble by Eric Price. Pressure coming. He delivers and it's intercepted right back to the hands of the Canton defense. A nice play that time by Kanye Rockefeller. We mentioned he had 3 INTs coming in. Make it a 4th now.
I saw the defense line up with the 3 down linemen. I'm like, what is happening here? And they did extra people in coverage, it looks like.
Oh, man. And you talked about having to be very careful towards this side of the field, not being too aggressive, not being, not trying to go for the home run too soon. And a team like Canton, whose defense is absolutely elite, made them pay. 1st and 10, they send Gibson in motion, putting 3 receivers at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Patterson to throw.
Oh.
Complete. And I believe that was Gibson. Yeah, Gibson went in motion, and they get him down to about the 5-yard line.
Canton's just doing Canton things right now. You give them, you can't give them anything. You gave them a turnover. You gave them great field position. They'll usually make you pay for it.
That defense, first in points per game, allowing only 33, almost 34. They allow only 187 yards rushing and only 16 rushing, points allowed, yards allowed, and rushing yards allowed. Excuse me, I left that one out. And total yards allowed. Elite defense turns it over to this Canton offense that is highly potent as well. You expect them to capitalize here. The run up the middle, second and goal, nothing there.
And we were in this position a little bit, last drive. They got to the red zone. That's when they forced another interception. So let's see what QCC does here.
You see the shift there on the line by the defense. And the handoff running right side, Robert Johnson. He buried his shoulder, lowered his head, tried to get some more yardage out of it, and another crucial third down for the Canton Classics coming up.
Another one for QCC to get a big stop here. Another bend, don't break mentality of defense.
This is a traditional Canton formation, no doubt. They keep it on the ground and up the middle and just short. He didn't get it. He went for it, lunged for it. Instead, though, it's Jones and company for Queen City making another stop.
That is huge. Huge. Oh, they're challenging.
Oh, and Coach Donaldson wants a challenge, challenging the spot of the ball. So let's get ready to go under the hood there and take a look at this replay brought to you by Retroid. Let's take a retroactive look at the play. As we said, Retroid, get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com.
I think he's short.
That angle lent itself to looking a little more promising for him, but we'll see what the referee says.
Yep, it stands.
Yeah. On that previous camera angle there, not the replay, but the one prior during the game, you could see that they come up just a little bit short of that goal line, and you could see. Take a look at the spot of the ball, Rochelle. It is right there.
I'd have to go for it here, but I see Ems is already on the field.
Yeah, they're going to be a little conservative here, and why not take the points? Rob Ems to kick. Here is the snap. The hold is good, and this one is good. So Canton now a 7-point lead. Queen City still within a touchdown.
Can you believe we still have a one-score game?
Unbelievable. There were a couple of times in that drive that you thought, well, here's where the tide begins to turn. But let's give credit to a great defensive stand again by Canton. Again, allowing them just to get all the way down to the goal line, but not letting them get across. And this kick will be returned. Across the 20, the 25, still on his feet, and a nice job by Bob Wood. For the first time today, let's go to the SFL studios. Cameron Irvine, what you got?
Thank you, Cameron. I've got plenty of defense in both games today. John Lakeman picked off by Mike Bird. Houston almost took the lead, but they threw a pick in the end zone. It's 7-3 in Charleston as well. The Predators on top, 5 turnovers in the first 18 minutes of that game. Back to you in Buffalo.
Wow.
Defense is the name. Yeah, defense is the name of the game. And this first 6 o'clock block of action here for the SFL. The handoff to Jet Zero. He gets a couple. And we've started to see Queen City do a little bit more of this conservative run, haven't we, Rochelle? As this game has went on, they've tried to stay more towards the ground.
I think they're just sticking to their game plan still. I mean, they're only 1 score behind. They're not having a bad game at all, but they need to find a way to get the ball down the field a little bit faster.
This Canton defense, and we'll talk about this point in just a moment, after a great leap that time by McDowell, he gets some good yardage, 3rd and 3 on the way. This Canton defense, though, only allowing 2 touchdowns.
The whole season.
the
I know.
whole season. So Queen City still yet to crack that code. It looked like earlier in the game they had a drive that was promising of doing such. But for the moment, it's 3rd and 3. They need to convert. Price to throw, pressure coming. He stands in there, and a nice job of James Matthew Jr. getting open for that reception. We haven't called his name as much as we would have expected to, but he could be heating up.
Yeah, I mean, that time they just took what the defense gave them, got the first down through a short little pass. Nice and easy, very methodical.
Something that Queen City is good at is methodical drives, indeed. Pressure coming, and Price gets rid of it, right into the hands of another waiting defender, Mark Gronick, for the turnover.
Now at this point, Price needs to settle down. He's making too many mistakes. You can't give Canton gifts like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a freebie right there. And for all this defense has been able to do to keep Queen City in the game, the offense yet to really show up as they would have hoped. And we knew that would be an uphill struggle simply because of just how tough this defense is. So Gronick with another interception on the season for him. As Patterson to throw. Complete, gain of 5 that time. And I'm trying to locate the interceptions for Mark Gronick thus far. Oh, he had 2 coming in. So this is his 3rd interception of the season.
And that Canton O-line, they give Patterson all day.
All day long. 5-yard gain makes it 2nd and manageable. Excuse me. Oh, the handoff that time going left side there with Lee. That was a nice play. Looked like it was going to be initially stopped for a loss.
I thought so too, and he just broke a few tackles on his own.
Inside of 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, this has been a very fast-moving game.
Definitely.
But
we only have 1 challenge. I mean, no penalties so far.
Exactly, and you have 2 ground-heavy teams. That's what you get. Ryan Owens now in motion to the top of the screen. And, oh, look at that. Coming in to blow up that entire play was number 41, Luke Swift.
That time, Luke Swift was ready for it. Never took his eyes off the running back and just blew it up.
Yeah, there was no denying Luke Swift that time. By the way, that's the only Swift that you will see in an SFL game. 2nd and 10 coming up. And off to Johnson, leaping, and he'll be short, but a good gain, 3rd on the way.
That was a weird move at the end of that play by Johnson.
It really was. So how would you rate that? The only Swift you'll see in an SFL game. What would you give that one, Rochelle? I'm just curious.
The only Swift?
Yeah. You know, Taylor Swift. That's the big thing in football now.
No, we have other Swifts in the league. I can't give you anything for that one.
You know what I mean. How about in this game? The handoff up the middle of the first down by Canton. It was just quick on the fly. Cherry with the carry. First and 10 on
I can name 3 or 4 Swifts.
Well, only one on this field. 1st and 10 coming up for Canton here, and looking to try to stretch this lead out if they can inside of the 20-yard line.
And just for that, my next player will be named Taylor Swift.
Oh, interesting. Patterson to the end zone. He wants it all.
Nice.
And, like you said, nice. A great job of defense intended for Dillapre. He knew where to look, didn't he?
Definitely. That was a bang play by the defense for sure. Jerry's coming up big, and if I was you, I would not go anywhere near Wyo.
No. Take a look at the chat there. Marco, Jaden, Luke, several Swifts, in fact.
Yes.
Somebody said I use a Swifter to mop. I like that. That's impressive. Oh, that's fun. Oh, my goodness. Almost intercepted again. A great job by Anthony Wyo on the play. 3rd and Rochelle, another big 3rd down coming up.
Neither one of these quarterbacks have really settled into this game as of yet. I mean, they're all over the place.
They really are. And give credit to that Queen City defense for keeping Patterson, for the most part, at bay. Pressure coming, but he stands in there and delivers a strike. And take a look at that. My goodness, what a reception by Bob Lung.
You know, big body receiver out there in the middle of the field. Hard to defend.
You know, we were talking about, you know, how good they've been able to stop them on third down. And Scar Patterson, we mentioned how good they are in the run and the ground game, but let's give credit to this air attack today. They've been a couple of interceptions, but boy, they've been times they've needed a big play, and they've got it on third down.
We're definitely seeing a different Canton today.
First and goal for the Canton Classics. On the ground, diving again, and he stopped again. Wow, that's not the first time we've seen that. Logan Lee denied at the goal line this time.
So right now, Canton is about 50-50 with run pass. That's just not a Canton game.
Exactly. Good point there, Rochelle. Take a look at the ball. Look at where it's sitting right on the outside of the goal line. You know they got to go run here to the end zone.
Yeah.
Lee walks in. Canton extends their lead.
I mean, it was only a matter of time before either Johnson or Lee actually broke the plane when you're at the goal line.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay for sure. Take a look at the great job of blocking up front, and Canton now able to flex their muscle really for the first time in this entire game. And it's a 2-score game now with the extra point. It'll be a 14-point game. We're going to get the extra point, of course, by Rob Ems.
I mean, still, we're only still in the third quarter. There's plenty of time left. QCC needs to find their offense at this point.
The extra point is good, and you're right. After a 10-play, 44-yard drive, Canton gets back in the end zone for the first time in a while. 1:25 left in this third quarter. Folks, we just want to mention to you the 2024 SFL convention's headed to South Shore Harbor Resort in League City, Texas, just south of Houston, on the dates of July the 12th through the 14th, featuring live games, flag football, a golf tournament, tailgating, a pool party, and more. For all the convention details, visit simulationfl.net/news/convention to reserve your room and see the event schedule and much, much more.
Will we see your smiling face there, Cameron?
That is the plan. I would love to go down and play a little bit of flag football, maybe take in a round of golf, of course, tailgate, maybe crack some puns. First and 10 coming up for Queen City, and that reception made 7 yards. And like I said, I'll just bring my puns down, Rochelle. You know, that's a hobby of mine, as you can tell.
Yes, I can tell. Nice play by Queen City. First down, actually throwing the ball. I'm impressed.
Yeah, 7-yard gain, and that's important to get a good positive drive going here as we approach 1 minute in this third quarter. Now, and the handoff again, trapped behind the lineman. Jet Zero just trying to fight for everything he could get, and they're going to say 3 yards short of the first.
So that time, the defensive line kind of pushed the O-line back a little bit. Got him trapped back there behind his own blockers.
3rd and 3. $25 seconds and counting here. They methodically get this one off, and there you go. That's what you need if you're Jet Zero, right? The guy's been wanting to break out for a big run since the end of the first quarter. Take a look at that, Rochelle. That was just a nice piece of running.
Yep. Jet Zero has been in the league on QCC for a long time. He's a very powerful runner going uphill.
We'll see if they try to get a play off. I think they're just going to let it run out. No, how about that on 1 second?
Oh.
They tried to catch him. I think they tried to lull him into a sense of they're going to just let this clock run out, but nevertheless, that pass falls incomplete. Folks, do not go anywhere. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Canton leads 17-3. Let's take a look at our league rights.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com. Eric Price now to throw, throwing back across his body, and
Wow.
somehow completed that pass to Joseph Baudet.
That was quite acrobatic.
That
was impressive.
You know what? That needed its own music behind it, talking about APM Music. I mean, that was dramatic indeed. 3rd and 1 now coming up, the biggest third down of the game for the Queen City Corsairs.
Let me run.
On the ground to Jet
Yes,
Zero.
we got
And boy, yeah, he had to fight for it, didn't he? He gets across the 50, and the drive continues.
Yeah, QCC's done a pretty decent job, moving the ball down the field. But at some point in their drive, it just kind of like fizzles out.
Yeah, look at this. Look
Pushing
at
defenders back.
Yeah.
He just carried him with him.
That really is all heart. I mean, it really is. It just grit and determination, knowing how important that your team needs this first down, needs to get across midfield, needs to get some momentum. That's great stuff. That's why we watch the SFL. 1st and 10. Price to throw, complete.
Nice.
Yeah, 1st down and more, just a little bit more anyway. That was Baudet again, if I'm not mistaken.
I think at this point, QCC feels the sense of urgency where they have to abandon the run game. They have to start passing the ball more. They need bigger plays.
Yeah, but you know what's working for them, Rochelle, that's so interesting? The passes that they're now connecting on, they're really quick little 3-step, 4-step drops. Not really, Price isn't really setting his feet much per se, but he's getting out there and getting, quick 6, 7, 8-yard receptions. That's working for them. Price to throw. Again, you see it right there to Baudet, who has become his most popular target thus far.
And like I said, it's not pretty. It's not flashy. They're not going for the end zone. They're just taking their time and making smart decisions on the field right now.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 on the way, and Price 5 of 10 over his last 10 pass attempts. So we do see there's 3 INTs in that.
Wow.
Jet Zero to throw, 3rd and 2. But, I think that goes back to what we're talking about, though, Rochelle. With those interceptions, those were really kind of long, elongated plays where he had all kinds of time. But these quick little drop-offs, it seemed to work really well for him. I'd hate to see him go away from it.
I think they're in a run formation here on 3rd and 2.
It looks that way. 3rd and 2. You know what's coming. Can you stop it? This Canton defense is pretty good.
Takes in the box.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pass.
It's a pass. Oh, and almost had the perfect play design. That was intended for number 44. And you know what? That was a really good play design. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, I definitely was expecting a run.
It was Tony Zama was who the intended target was. So they just about, if they'd been able to complete that one, that was going to be a masterful decision there on 3rd down. Now, Joe Garfield on to attempt the field goal. The snap and the hold, it is up. It's arcing. Is it going to be?
No, the wind.
Yeah, just off the upright. And Queen City, unfortunately, will come away without any points on that drive.
And the same thing happened to Canton earlier from the same side of the field. It's the wind tonight. Wow.
Watch it push it. You can actually see the resistance there in the football, hitting the wind as it comes across. Just a tough side of the field to try to score on if you can't get into the end zone. And once again, this Canton defense, we've got to give them some respect because they are still keeping a team out of the end zone.
It's unbelievable to me.
Patterson to throw off his hand. Incomplete.
Jack Wild with a drop there.
Coverage by Alex Marshall. And like you said, this is a different wrinkle in this Canton offense that we are starting to see. You mentioned it. It's different for them. They're just trying some different things. It feels almost experimental, doesn't it?
It does. It's like, did we change things this week on purpose? Or is the defense making us do it?
Yeah. The handoff to the left side for Johnson, and he does a good job there. 6 yards or so. 3rd and 4 coming up.
I mean, because basically all the running backs have basically been pretty quiet tonight.
That's right.
I mean, we've held Robert Johnson to 57 yards.
That's
And
impressive.
Logan Lee to 17.
And again, nobody in the backfield for Canton on this 3rd and 4. Really forcing Queen City to have to stop the pass. And in motion to the bottom of the screen, and Patterson to fire. Plenty of time all day, and Jack Wall with the 1st down.
You can't give Patterson that much time. He's just setting up, waiting for somebody to be open. He likes Jack Wall. Jack Wall found himself open on the sideline, and just a little quick pitch and catch there.
Yeah, I mean, he could have called in a pizza. It could have been delivered, and he still was able to get that pass off.
But now I'm hungry. Thank you.
Well, maybe after the break, after the game, we can get a snack or two. 1st and 10 coming up here, and Canton now looking to put the icing on the cake in this game. A score that really doesn't show how tight this game has been. Let's make a point of that as well.
Enough with the food references.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm hungry. 1st and 10, receiver down to the bottom of the screen. Handoff up the middle.
Wow.
Look at this, turning on the Jets is Robert Johnson, close to the 30-yard line.
That's more Canton football right there.
He made that look like
it was a great run.
Yeah, I mean, he made that look like a piece of cake.
No, I mean, no one touched him.
No. Untouched. Piece of cake. Not that I mentioned food at all, Rochelle.
Great blocking by the O-line.
A good job indeed. 1st and 10 now. Look at this formation. Again, you about expect pass. Maybe not, but 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Who knows today? Handoff, toss play. Running right side, cuts back in is Logan Lee, and he gets about 5.
Yeah, I think we'll see Canton go run heavy at this point. They have the lead. 6 minutes left. You're going to see a lot of the backs now.
A nice job of bobbing and weaving there by Logan Lee to get 5 on that play. Counting down here, the final minutes of the 4th quarter, we're about down to 5. We're about halfway through the 4th. And Patterson, fake handoff.
Oh my gosh.
Day to throw, and he delivers. Jack Wall, we've seen it time and time again today. 1st and goal.
I think he took a nap.
He could have taken a nap. Yeah. I mean, called his parents, made sure they're doing well, all kinds of things that he could have done before he had to get rid of that football. I can't get over a masterful job of the offensive line of the Canton Classics today.
QCC's not bringing the pressure. You have to pressure Patterson. You have to force him to make mistakes. You give him all days to pick you apart.
A beautiful day of Scar Patterson there, especially the second half. A lot more better ball control, not as many turnovers and dodgy passes to the end zone. Tiptoeing Jack Wall, touchdown.
Last 3 passes. Was that 3 in a row to Jack Wall?
It's very close indeed. Let's take a look. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see a replay on this one with the beautiful toe tap by Jack Wall. Whoa. The world may never know. Jack Wall with a great, fantastic touchdown reception. I'm expecting to see a challenge flag. We do not get one. So they're going to say that the play does stand, and Canton looking to extend their lead.
This is heartbreaking for QCC. You hung with the Canton for so long through this game, and it's made a few too many interceptions.
Yeah, just a great job of Canton, in the second half, really kind of locking down and doing a nice job of time of possession as well as finishing off drives, this Queen City defense. And again, let's give them an opportunity here for a little bit of recognition. They held in there as long as they could. They kept their team in it, the offense just not able to put points out.
Yeah, I mean, their opening drive was very, very impressive, and since then it was a little bit downhill from there, and started making, the mistakes, and Canton just capitalized on most of them.
Yeah. Queen City, though, still wants to look, put some points on the board. see if they can, as we said,
Score a
here's an
touchdown?
objective. Yeah, score a touchdown. Score a touchdown against the Canton Classics. That's only happened twice this year. It's got to be a feather in your cap if you can, and not only that, it'll get you in a little bit closer margin of victory here. Let's see. That pass incomplete, just off the hands of the intended target, and there's a guy, James Matthew Jr., that has not been able to get wide open very much in today's game.
And I'm used to calling his name a lot for a QCC game, but we haven't really said his name very much. I read the chat earlier a little bit, if QCC scores a touchdown, they consider that almost a win.
Yeah, definitely. There's another chat there. Joshua Durr says, my wife loves the puns. I thank you, Joshua Durr, and your lovely wife. 2nd and 10 coming up. Pressure coming, and that one is...
Oh, what?
Look at that. End over end, but Matthew comes up with the reception.
He was duck hunting at this point. That was a duck.
We said they needed to get open. James Matthew Jr. in the game. We didn't expect it would be on a pass that looked like a punt or a kickoff. But nevertheless, 3rd and 2 here. They've got a chance at extending this drive. If they can do so, we'll see what they can do.
That ball was wacky.
Aha. You're getting in on the puns as well.
Yes.
Handoff this time to McDowell. He does get the first down.
Ooh, hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up now. Price to throw over the middle, and nobody is home. 2nd and 10.
I'm not sure who that's even intended for. All I saw was white jerseys.
Yeah, it's scary when you see that if you're a Queen City player, indeed. So 2nd and 10 now, 4:25 left. Folks, give us just a moment. We will talk to you about some of the great events coming up tomorrow on the SFL. We've got some good ones tonight as well, and, of course, tomorrow a lot of action planned for you also. So 2nd and 10 now, 2 receivers on either side of Eric Price, and here comes the rollout, the throw. And then out of the hands of the intended target, Joseph Baudet.
Great hit by Evan Lacey.
He was holding on to that like it was a hot potato. Just dropped it at the end.
Lacey with the big hit that just knocked the ball out of his hands.
And another pun for Cameron Duty. 3rd and 10 coming up in this game as Queen City is down by 21 points, but they're still trying to keep at it here. Price to throw. Oh, and look at that. Kind of behind the head of the defender was Matthew Jr.
So now we start calling his name.
And there he goes again. Oh, yeah. Well, that time got pushed back a little bit, tried to cut the corner, and nothing there. So no huddle once more. 2nd and 11.
He got turned around a little bit. Didn't know which way to run. Oh.
Yeah, 3rd and 11, just incomplete, looking for Joseph Baudet. He has been, up to the last couple of snaps anyway, he was the main man for Eric Price. And we'll take a look at the stats as they refresh here and see just how many times Joseph has been targeted. In 8 targets for Joseph Baudet, 4 catches, but you can tell they wanted to really get him active in this game. Oh, across the middle, and I think that's another one for him.
Like I think at this point they're gonna go for it here on 4th and 5. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. What will they come up with?
Thank you.
3 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom, and Baudet, a man in motion here. We'll see if they look his way. Nice to throw, and they do. First down. The drive continues. No huddle once more. They scurry back to the line. They get in place. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. And again, Joseph Baudet, 2nd down and 5 coming up. We expect more of the same. No huddle. Clock down to 3 minutes and 7 seconds and counting.
They've definitely got something that they like here.
The throw tipped, almost intercepted, intended for James Matthew Jr. Let's go real quickly to Cameron Irvine for this game update.
Thank you, Cameron. Just before the end of the first half, Dave Burr hits Dan Curtis for the touchdown. Charleston has tacked on 2 field goals since. When you're done in Buffalo, it's a good one over in Charleston. 13-10 Predators right now, halfway through the 3rd. Back to you.
Oh, good game indeed. Thanks, Cam. We will definitely be checking that one out at the end of this one. In the meanwhile, it's 3rd and 5 now for the Queen City Corsairs, trying to keep this drive alive.
Back in the same formation.
Yep, same formation. Tries to
Oh,
throw
nice.
over the middle, and a great reception by Bob Wood inside the 20-yard line. They want to get that touchdown on that Canton defense. You can see it.
What a beautiful
Tries
catch.
to throw. Oh, and a really good coverage that time intended for James Matthew Jr., and that'll slow the pace of this game down just a little bit. And that'll give us a moment to tell you that tomorrow night, the DC Dragons visit the Seattle Nemesis in a battle of top SFL teams at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's on Sunday. Also, Sunday, you can check out Indianapolis at Tulsa, Vancouver at Los Angeles, and Mexico City at Atlanta. For the full weekend slate, visit simulationfl.net. Now, Eric Price the throw, looking to Joseph O'Day again, and he does have the reception. That guy's going to be one tired wide receiver at the end of this one. 3rd and 4. You know it's 4-down territory, and there's the dreaded interception. Just what you did not want to see if you are a Queen City fan. Joshua Durr with the INT.
And the fans are not happy.
No, just when it looked like it was going to be promising, at least to have a chance at getting in the end zone, Burr and company lock this one down. And now you think it's just a matter of running this one out.
And remember, QCC still has all 3 timeouts. They probably will get the ball back.
That's true. We'll see what kind of drive that Canton can go on here. They'll definitely try to take the majority of the clock down. Trying to leave this game here. What's been I know the score doesn't show it, but folks, it's been a competitive game, at least for about 3/4 of the way. The handoff now to Logan Lee, who doesn't get anything, but as we said, that will get the clock running closer to the 2-minute warning.
Nice little tackle by Wolf Highwind. QCC defense is still playing tough out there.
And what about, Canton here? This is a milestone victory for them. Rochelle, this is going to be their 8th victory of the season, the very first time in Canton Classics history that they'll have won 8 games in a season. We'll talk more about that after the 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Cameron Duty here with Rochelle Colston, stats Justin Raside and Dakota Butts, and of course Cameron Irvine in the production truck. It's been a great game, a lot of fun. Canton now trying to put an end to this one just by running this clock out as best as they can. Oh, they're going to go to the air. Patterson feeling confident. He's going to throw the pass. Incomplete. Nice. Good defensive coverage that time for Queen City, and it's 3rd and 10.
That way, but if you're a scorer of Patterson, I just would stand in the pocket all day long with the clock run out. You have all day.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. We said a milestone victory coming up here for Canton. 8 wins in a season, the very first time in franchise history. What does that say about this team in this season?
Watching this team this season is almost amazing. I mean, they've got it going on both sides of the ball. They've got 3 impressive backs. We have a quarterback who does what he has to do. And their defense is lights out.
And now an air attack to add on top of that. I mean, we talked about, folks, just to let you a little bit behind the curtain of what you do as a play-by-play and an analyst is you look for trends and stats. And coming in, it was all about the 3-headed monster of Robert Johnson and Bill Cherry, and as we mentioned, Logan Lee. And they have just came out and used the air game in a way we've not seen all season long. Yeah. Take a look at that. Good defensive effort. Queen City still fighting. But now you add a new offensive air attack into the mix. And the SFL league is certainly on high alert now.
I mean, right, just when you're expecting, run formation, they're expecting to run, they're throwing the ball out of it. You're like, whoa.
Even more game film to have to study on this team. They do go back to the air again. Patterson again all day, and he throws one to Jack Wall to midfield. And Queen City is going to have to use their very final timeout.
So now I think we see Canton kneel out. Maybe not. This team's pretty aggressive. Nope, we're in victory formation.
Yep. Patterson takes the knee, and now we'll just start to see this clock run down. Rochelle, let's talk about Queen City. You know, they certainly didn't. Nobody wants to be on the losing side of things, but let's talk about positives with this team because this defense is a bright spot.
I mean, nobody wants to play Canton this season. Let's be honest. But they showed up. They hung in there. Their defense was spectacular. Their offense kind of fizzled out after their first drive, but they hung in there all night long with them. They forced Patterson to throw some interceptions. They didn't, capitalize on them, but their defense played a really good game.
Their defense really worked hard to try to I guess you would say, equalize the threat of this Canton offense. And we know the Canton's headed to the playoffs. The playoff race is something that we will talk about as we get a little closer to the end of the season. That race is heating up. Of course, SFL this week on Monday night always kind of talks about that a little more in depth with Cameron Irvine and his guest. Usually it's Mike O'Neill, so do check that out, of course. But Canton punching a ticket, 8-0 in just about 25 more seconds. The kneel down, and this game is on its way to being completely finished. Rochelle, 10 seconds and counting. We'll get ready and look at our post-game highlights here and thoughts. And you can see the joy in this team, the excitement as the clock runs down. Canton has won. They're 8-0 for the first time in franchise history. They beat the Queen City Corsairs by a score of 24-3. Rochelle, let's talk about it. What are your final thoughts?
As I said, QCC has nothing to be ashamed of. Don't hang your head. You played a great game. Your defense showed up. You can make some minor, improvements on offense. But you're playing, a team that's number one in so many categories right now. So you did your job. You showed up, and you should be proud of yourselves.
And take a look at the time of possession, which Canton is so good at. And, of course, the big stat there, the points off turnovers, 17 off the turnovers for Canton. Doing a great job, and that really does make up the difference in this ball game. If you got to give a player of the game, Rochelle, who's it going to?
I don't know at this point. No one, it was a well-rounded game. Nobody really was spectacular tonight. I guess I'd have to go with one of the receivers. Maybe Jack Wall.
Jack Wall, Al Dillapre, they're right in there. Absolutely. Doing their part. And game ball for, Canton all around. As we said, 8-0 for the first time in franchise history. Folks, it's been a pleasure. I want to thank Cameron Irvine in the production booth and stats, Justin Raside and Dakota Butt. Rochelle Colston, thank you so much. My name is Cameron Duty. Stick around. We've got a lot more football coming at you tonight. You're watching the SFL on YouTube.
Good night, everyone.